This is Cybert signing into Kane's Wrath on the map Wastelands Dam. And it's a good time of year to remember that this is a duck crossing zone. So as you're hunting your turkeys, make sure you check for any crossing ducks. You will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law by this man in the north, the Cyan GDI player. This is Futurama. His teammate in this 2v2 as the Blue Nod. This is Phoenix. And on the other side of the map, when you saw the players' names, you might have thought this was going to be the dynamic duo, because in the south, as the Green Nod, this is Drive. And as the Orange Traveler 59, give it up for Rex. This time, Futurama is aligned with Phoenix, while Drive is teamed up with Rex. A bit of a shakeup from what we normally see, which would, of course, be Futurama and Drive hanging out together, playing lots of games. These four players, I feel like, have been quite commonly seen in all sorts of matches. Of course, Bike Rush and Master Leaf are still good. They're still around. There's no change there. But Drive, Phoenix, Rex, Futurama, they have been very present in a lot of, I guess part of it is that 12-game show match looms large in my mind as far as recent matches. But I was excited to get a 2v2 from these folks. And by the way, very slight update to the income display. Big thanks to Master Dolk for helping me to get it at a little bit more rapid than 1 FPS. The unfortunate thing is that it didn't solve the problem that I was really hoping it would solve. So that still remains a work in progress, but at least visually it looks nicer, even though it ended up not solving the behind-the-scenes problem that I was having. For now, it's looking like a relatively standard opener for everyone. Lots of harvesters present, and Rex feels like he's maybe a little bit behind in his harvester count, but no, I think I just miscounted because he does have 5. He is transferring 1 down to the low ground. No shenanigans, it seems, with the transfer on the hill. Every once in a while, we will see a player get absolutely top deck and wrecked as they head down this hill to their natural expansion. The players in the southern position can sometimes be taken by surprise, but in this case, it's very much a gentleman's agreement. Futurama seems like he will be able to grab that tib spike in the middle, and it's going to be a fast second war factory for Phoenix, whereas Rex goes right for that refinery. He does have Seekers, he does have a Gunwalker, he is playing relatively safe, but he is playing a bit more greedy, or maybe even a bit more standard than what Phoenix is doing. Scorpion tanks on their way out for Phoenix. Pitbulls poking and prodding from Futurama. I guess with the way this map does line up, it's sort of going to be a 1v1 Futurama versus Drive in the north, and then Phoenix versus Rex in the south. And Phoenix, okay, never mind. That is just a scouting squad. He doesn't have anything sneaky really going on in the southern half of that division there. Although, this is actually a decent amount of firepower. Without Rex supporting this, this could lead to a 1-2 punch from Futurama and Phoenix. We'll see if they're actually able to contend with these Scorpion tanks. Decent numbers here from Drive. He's going to be losing 2 Scorpion tanks right from the beginning. It does look like Rex is responding. Reinforcements are on their way, and it looks like Futurama and Phoenix are going to back on off. A couple of Scorpion tanks going down, a couple of bikes and buggies traded back, but other than that, it is going to be a kind of zero-sum game between the teams. Fast leg descents are now moving out. Scan comes out perfectly timed there from Futurama to get the warning on this. Phoenix almost walks into a line of descents, but he does save himself. 1 harvester under threat. Futurama is throwing down what base defenses he can as support, but other than that, this is up to Phoenix to stop this attack. 1 harvester down and a Scorpion tank as well. The rest of the harvesters were smartly pulled off the line, and Phoenix will slowly but surely push back this attack. The help of Futurama is nicely warranted with how many descents were present in that attack. The watchtowers are extremely useful for Phoenix's defense. Okay, it's just a buzzer squad in the building on the back end. But the reforming of the front line, big Descent army going to be coming out here from Rex. He's also going to be heading towards the blue Tiberium. He's there with Drive just to secure that. Make sure that nobody is taking that blue Tiberium without having to pay a price for it. In this case, the price is going to be defensively for Drive and Rex. Couple of riflemen getting cleaned up here and there. Scouting squads getting taken out by both teams. And these descents just moving all over the map for Rex, looking for those opportunities. We'll see if he's actually able to push in, because no, it is going to be right into the hammerheads for Futurama. He's got enough hammerheads to quickly deal with the descents. And of course, anytime you're up against a Traveler 59 player, you always want to keep an eye on those potential infantry attacks. Cultists being really the big problem one from Traveler 59. I assume we do have a stasis chamber that stuck around. He did at least get the upgrade. So he had it at one point and he's kept it around. So Cultists are on the menu. Whether or not he will actually commit heavily to them is yet to be seen. AP ammo finishing up quite nicely, and the Ion Storm sound effect kind of firing off there. Mothership is neutral in the middle of the map, and the Marv does step on out as Devastator warships get added into the mix. And for now, Cultists are being mixed in. The Prodigy is here as well. Tripods on the way from Rex, but it's Laser Scorps in the north from Drive. Futurama, he's got plenty of cash in the bank. Everyone else a little bit low on income, scraping the bottom of the barrel, and I think that's, oh, whoa, Flame Tank comes in from Drive. We saw Phoenix going for a couple of Flame Tanks earlier, but Drive has actually found the damage, burning down Phoenix's infrastructure, and Phoenix had nothing nearby to quickly deal with this, so his tanks a little bit late to respond, won't find much damage. Won't find the damage before the Flame Tank does. Beam Cannon does get burned up here, but these Beam Cannons might actually be able to find the perfect angle on this Eradicator Warp Chasm and take it down. Area Mind Control is not enough to stop these Beam Cannons from knocking down that Epic Unit facility. The Marv trying to hold its own against these Laser Scorps in the north. There is a lot of Laser Scorps. Mind Drop going to be coming in as well. Big hits on the Predator tanks, but not on the Marv. One Predator down. Meanwhile, in the south, Beam Cannons getting pushed back into their opponent's arms because that mind control is just too powerful, and the Beam Cannons do eventually regain their consciousness, and they do back away from the front line. It's a Marv, and Futurama, he's got cash in the bank, but he probably wishes he had a couple of more Predator tanks on the front line. It's going to be up to the Hammerheads. It's going to be up to the Pitbulls. It's going to be up to the Marv to come in here and hold the line against these Scorps. The Juggernauts will go down, but the Scorps may not be able to conquer the rest of Futurama's base. That may be left to the Redeemer to help push this in. Predator tanks on the front line. They don't have railguns, but they can get that upgrade as this Redeemer picks them off one by one. Action exploding in the south as Phoenix tries to hold off these Devastator warships. And meanwhile, the Eradicator Hex Spot is about 2/3 of the way done. Take two. There's the Flame Tank from Phoenix, now burning down Drive's infrastructure as Futurama desperately tries to hold on to the front line. It's going to be an Epic unit versus an Epic. That Marv has good health bars. The Hammerheads are unopposed, but the numbers just keep coming from Drive. The War Factory drop on the front line is a nice touch, and I think Futurama will eventually be able to hold this off. He is going to lose basically everything that isn't the Marv, but so is Drive. These Scorpion tanks, one by one, getting blasted down by the high-tech guns of Futurama, and the Redeemer may not even escape as the Juggernauts find their shots, and the Sonic Emitter gets the kill. The last hit from that Sonic Emitter. The guns are a little bit too powerful on the Futurama side, and that is a Bold Harvester indeed. It's going to get taken out most likely, but it will kind of shut down this little teeny tiny bit of Tiberium, so the auto harvest is not all for a loss. Eradicator Hexpod stepping forward. Looks like it does have the Prodigy inside of it, so it will be able to blink onto these Harvesters if it suspects they might be there. And this Harvester Did it? Oh, it stole a full load of Tiberium. Futurama is just auto-harvesting away Drive's field. The income is looking pretty good. Drive sitting at above 4K in the bank. Happy on that. Meanwhile, Rex near 6K in the bank. These guys exploding on the micro, but not so much on the macro, as these guys all had big armies to control. The beam cannons under danger as these stompy legs are coming for them. And unfortunately, there isn't a lot of high-powered frontline guns to deal with this Eradicator Hexapod, so it's just going to be a full-on retreat from the beam cannons. They're going to try and find, well, they're going to get a stealth tank, and they're going to try and find enough distance to eat up this Eradicator this Eradicator Hexapod's health bar at a distance. If you can get enough distance, you can burn it down. You can slowly sap it away. Meanwhile, the tripods going somewhat unopposed. Phoenix getting a little bit stomped here on the front line. He never quite got up to speed the way he wanted to, and now he's going to be relying on reinforcements coming in here. The beam cannon stop for a moment as the blink forward comes in from that Eradicator, and there's the MCV cap and sell by Rex. He is shutting down Phoenix systematically, one unit, one building at a time. No MCV for Phoenix. He is just about out of this game. No production facilities, much left standing. There is just an airfield and a hand of nod here, as somehow, some way, Rex decides to bring his MCV to the front line. Mine drop on top of this Eradicator, and this just might be enough, the combination of beam cannons, but no, the phase will fire off, and that Eradicator is safe for now. Reinforcements coming in from Drive. The action will not stop on the south side, but that's because on the north side, Futurama is once again looking to hold his own. He's a GDI powerhouse, and he is looking for the 2v1. Almost the last production facility of Phoenix goes down. There it is. The final one gets eliminated. He did not manage to drop a crane, I think, anywhere on the map. It is just up to Futurama to try and hold off his side of the 1v2, and he's going to do it by knocking down the main base of Drive and Rex. There isn't much left here after how long this game has gone on. They've already transitioned all of that infrastructure to elsewhere on the map, but this leaves a huge gaping hole in the defense of Futurama. Back at home, he has nothing to stop the onslaught, and so this is going to be a do-si-do as these two teams trade starting positions. Phoenix has been defeated. He hands everything else over to Futurama. The tip spike has already been captured, so Futurama doesn't get the benefit of that, but he will not sell those buildings either intentionally or not. Crane would be a good thing to kill off, either intentionally or not, and he is going to allow those buildings to buy him a couple of extra seconds as this army slows. And Futurama, on the minimap, it almost looks like he is the one in control as he is encircling his opponents, but the reality is on that north side, he really has very little left. Tier 3 is about to get destroyed. It won't quite cancel the upgrade. It finishes just in time before that Tier 3 gets eliminated. The Hammerhead's going down to that plasma missile battery, and this Cultist squad still has control of the beam cannon. The Prodigy is somewhere nearby. It's looking for a potential backstab. It's looking for an angle of escape, perhaps, as this Marv is the front line. The MCV is getting targeted down by the Devastator warships. The anti-air is weak on the side of GDI. The MCV gets shut down just as the AA battery gets deployed. The 1v2 is alive and well, with Futurama pressing further forward into the unprotected backline of Rex. Rex is moving everything back that he possibly can. A couple of militant squads dangerously chasing this Eradicator, just doing bits of damage, and that's a big shot as all of the Juggernauts land at the same time. Massive amounts of firepower from Futurama. This boy knows how to play GDI, and he is wasting the base of Rex. Rex and Drive looking to just continue their onslaught, finding unprotected base after unprotected base of Futurama. He still has a war factory there in the original main base of Rex. This Eradicator Hexapod getting dangerously low on health, trying to stay out of range of this encroaching GDI army, and it will blink away. Teleports to safety. GDI and Nod and Scrin coming down to a final battle, chasing each other around the map. These three factions looking for the end game and just not being able to find it. As soon as someone seems to have a huge advantage, they get lopsided, and then they get chased around the map in a different direction. Mind control coming in on this one Juggernaut, and most of the Juggernauts able to avoid this Eradicator Hexbot. It goes phased for the blink forward, the EMP on the Marv, but that Eradicator can't actually turn its guns towards the Marv, and it is pure mayhem. Futurama running as fast as he can with as many Juggernauts, and just there Rex gets 2 crushes essentially for free. His Eradicator is going to be deep in enemy territory. He is going to be a little bit confused, a little bit behind enemy lines. As soon as this phase wears off, he is going to need to blink out of there, because this is a lot of Juggernauts to bring the firepower, and he goes up onto the high ground. Rex never stopping, never pausing for even a moment, as this Marv goes double vet. The insanity of this game just will not stop. These guys burning everything down little bit by little bit. That Scorpion tank army rotating entirely around the map and now ending up here in the south. The Eradicator Hexbot goes down. The War Factory goes down. Futurama loses everything on the south side of the map. This army is on its own. It is exposed as the Juggernauts fire away at a single Scorpion tank running in their midst. The War Factory will be shut down. Rex can't have much more than this. He's got an MCV fleeing the scene, running for its life. He's got not much more than that, a portal and a couple of power plants, but that's a heroic Marv, baby. It's a 1v2, and Futurama is looking to make it happen with a heroic Marv. Hardly a moment to breathe. Hardly a moment as this somehow... What even happened down here? That is a Harvester going absolutely nuts, crushing rocket squads one by one as they spawn out of this barracks in some weird backstab in the corner as these Scorpion tanks, one goes heroic and the MCV is about to be eliminated. You better hope Futurama has some kind of plan for the future, because he is pretty much out of it. His army is all that remains. A couple of buildings spread throughout the map are all that remains. This MCV needs to get something deployed to keep himself in this game. It's one outpost, it's one barracks. If Drive and Rex identify that, they can maybe just dump everything into those 2 buildings and win the game. They don't have to fight a heroic Marv, they don't have to fight an army of Juggernauts, but they do have to step by them, playing guard dog. War Factory in the north, MCV in the north for Drive. It's a done deal. If they can buy enough time, they can take the game. Futurama almost undoubtedly had... No! GG! No! If everyone was in the same spot, Futurama's ground army would crush Drive and Rex, but they weren't in the same spot. And Drive and Rex had all the time in the world, because Futurama could never leave that corner. And he also didn't have anything that shot up, really, to defeat those Devastator warships. What an insane game. I feel like the game started going and I had no opportunity to catch my breath the entire time. An insane action-packed 2v2, 18 minutes of chaos here on Wastelands Dam. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all very much for watching, and this is Cyber signing out.